Hey, welcome back to Carson Today we're going to be doing another NFL prediction video. Today we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are one of the best teams in the league. Might be the best team in the league. They keep getting wrong in the playoffs, but they really are one of the better teams in the league. Um, I honestly, it'll take a huge. You would have to be a monster of a team to come close to beating New Orleans. And you see, they do. They play Green Bay, Kansas City, Tampa Bay twice, of course, San Francisco. So it'll be interesting to see. And a lot of those games are at home. They play Kansas City at home, New Orleans at home, Green Bay at home, San Francisco at home. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those teams can beat them. Obviously, one of them will. So I honestly wouldn't even be surprised to see them go 14-2, 15-1 this season. They are one of the better teams in the league. So, starting off with week 1, we have New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. This is a home game for New Orleans. They are playing against the rebooted Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have Tom Brady, Chris Jones? Nah, it's not Chris Jones. I don't know who it is. Mike Evans. So they're very good. But I don't know how well they'll be in week 1. This is their first ever game, and it's an away game. So I'm going to give this one to the Saints. Give me a second. Give me a couple minutes, Ellis. Sorry about that. My baby brother's screaming. So in week 2, they go to Las Vegas. And Las Vegas, while they're not a bad team, but they're also not. I don't know if they're good enough to really beat the Saints. Even though they're at home and it is Monday night, I'm going to have to give this one to New Orleans because New Orleans is just so far ahead of everyone else. And Green Bay, one thing that really kind of stinks for Green Bay is the fact that they really don't have any weapons for Aaron Rodgers. So it's really just all about Aaron Rodgers. And for that reason, and New Orleans' great defense, they got Malcolm Jenkins, they got Marcus Davenport. I'm going to have to give this one to New Orleans at home here. All right, and then week 4, they go to Detroit. And Detroit, they're a team that they're better than this 0-7 record I have them at right now. But I don't, again, even though they're at home and they do, Matthew Stafford is a very good quarterback, but it's like their O-line isn't very good. It's one of the worst parts of their team, and I think New Orleans can get the win here pretty easily, actually. And in week 5, the week before their bye week, they're at home. It's Monday night. They're up against the Chargers, who at this point probably still have Tyrod Taylor. But they do. They Keelan. Sorry, my brother's screaming is kind of making me not be able to think. But they do have a pretty solid offense, even with Tyrod Taylor, who is a formidable quarterback. So this could be a pretty good game, but I'm still going to give it to New Orleans. Ellis, give me a couple seconds. Who start out the season undefeated. And then, of course, they come off of a bye week at home against Carolina. And Teddy Bridgewater looked good when he was playing for the Saints. It would kind of be like a revenge game, two revenge games. I think coming off of a bye week at home, they do have a great defense, great offense. In Carolina, they don't have the strongest offense. I feel like this could be a blowout here by New Orleans. And then in week 8, they get another pretty easy game. The Bears, they're going to be kind of leaning on their running game and their defense. And even their defense, which is the better part of their team, isn't very good. So for that, I'm going to have to give it to New Orleans. They do have David Montgomery, who might be the best player on their team, or Khalil Mack. So they're 7-0, and then they go to Tampa Bay, and I think this is what gets them. I think they split with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they do have an amazing team, and I think in Week 9 at home, after they've had 8 weeks to get into the way things are going to go, they finally get the first win, and they knock them off their 7-game winning streak. And San Francisco comes to New Orleans. Another game that could be really, really. This could be influential for the playoffs. This will be a good game just to watch. But I think New Orleans takes this at home. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he's going to take a slight step back. And I know they did just I would say something about how Raheem Mostert wants a trade, but they did just reconstruct his contract. So their offense is pretty solid, but I just feel like New Orleans. I mean, you see Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Drew Brees. I don't see their defense really stopping them. And then Atlanta comes over. They get a little break here. I don't really see them ever losing this game. And then they go to Denver. This is a game that could surprise me. I feel like Denver, they do have Drew Lock, Philip Lindsay. They have lots of talent, but I just don't know. I'm not a big believer in Drew Lock. I feel like it might take him a few more years, maybe next year or the year after that. But right now, I still feel like he only played 5 games last year where they mainly ran the ball. They leaned heavily upon Philip Lindsay when he was playing. So I'm gonna give this one to the Saints. I'm gonna have them sweep Atlanta. Atlanta, they've got Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, but that's really it. Their defense isn't anything special. They got Calvin Ridley on there, I guess. Todd Gurley too was a great addition. So their offense could be a problem for some teams. I mean, again, they're probably better than that 1-9 I have them at right now. Then they go to Philadelphia, another pretty easy win here. I feel like they can probably stomp out Philadelphia again is a team that's all about their offense. If it's all about Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz doesn't play very well, then this whole team is just going to completely just drive off a cliff. And then in Week 15, they're 12-1, definitely probably at the top of the NFC at this point, and I don't see another team that could beat them. Really, they could probably lose all their games, and they're definitely in the playoffs at this point. Probably, look at this stuff. They definitely probably already won their division. So I feel like in Week 15 at home against Kansas City, very, very tough game. You see Kansas City, they have Patrick Mahomes, they've got Ertz, they've got so many just spectacular players that this will be a tough battle. Sunday, it's not Sunday night. Why would you not make this Sunday night? But it's at home. New Orleans has this is a very evenly matched, but I feel like New Orleans can get the edge over them and go 13-1. And then in Week 16, this will probably be a game that I think a lot of people will be surprised about. I feel like Minnesota can win this, even with the loss of Stephon Diggs. That offense is still amazing. They got Rudolph. Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback, so I feel like even though they're at home, I feel like Minnesota can pull off another win. And then in Week 17, they're probably resting their starters right now. There's no way that any of these teams are going to be battling against a 13-2 team. At the end of the season, they're going to be by far. So I think they'll rest their starters, but Carolina is going to be throwing this game, or I don't know. I feel like they're going to win this either way. Either they rest their starters and Carolina throws this game, or they rest their starters and they manage to get a win here. Either way, I'm just going to act like they didn't rest their starters. 14-2 is the record. Now I'm going to do worst case scenario. This is as bad as it gets. Tampa Bay could sweep them. I'm just going to go ahead and go through all these tough games they could lose. And Carolina is a very tricky team. They could win at home, and again, 9-7 is as low as possible. Drew Brees just completely tanks. Their whole offense drives itself off a cliff. Basically, this is as bad as humanly possible, and really, it might not even be possible, but this is about as bad as I believe it is possible. I don't think it's likely that they go 9-7, but again, I'm not saying it's not a possibility. It's not a possibility that they go 8-8. I think they're going to have a winning season no matter what. And their best possible scenario is, of course, 15-1. Whenever they go through and they only lose to Tampa Bay at home. So 14-2 is the record. I hope you enjoyed that. You can go to playoffpredictors.com, make your own predictions, send them to me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube comments, send them to me on Patreon, any of that stuff. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. I'm looking for somebody to make me a banner. Please do that. Goodbye.